Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video, doing JMA Friday for today's second video. So, as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for the month ahead with Japanese and CFS V2 models, and I should get to that for you in a moment. Just to say that the first video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast. There's a take of 14 day on the way later on, and we're going to be live with the pub run at 10:30, so I should see a little bit later on for that one maybe. Like, share, and subscribe on all today's videos and content, and thank you so much everyone for JMA for GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everyone. Right, okay, let's start off with the week 1 mean sea level pressure anomaly from the JMA from the Arctic and the North Pole view down. So, of course, this is the North Pole just here. Got the wider Arctic circle around there, and then got the mid-latitude here, roughly. Blues extrapolated to below average heights, which is low pressure, yellow, orange, and red, to above average heights, which is high pressure. These are broken down into a weekly period. So the first weekly period takes us from today, the 14th of February, through to 21st of February. We still see a blocking signal in the next week, with plenty of high latitude blocking through there. Below average heights, low pressure underneath it. Looks like it should be quite a cold scenario, but actually not going to be particularly cold, and we're going to find the weather becoming milder, if more unsettled, in the week ahead. Week 2 will be the 23rd, 28th of February. High pressure then retreating away towards northern Scandinavia, low pressure up the Atlantic, and heights rising down towards the Azores. That switches the wind into a west or southwesterly, still unsettled, but a lot milder. And then week 3 and 4 will also unsettle with the JMA, deep low pressure in the Atlantic, so plenty of rain coming in from the west, but also mild with winds in from the southwest. That's the 28th of February to the 14th of March. The first half of March looking quite wet but mild. Let's confirm that with the tropical and mid-latitude view, so we can't see Greenland, Iceland, Scandinavia, or those areas off the chart up here. We're in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it. Reminder of a week 1 500 millibar height anomaly with plenty of low pressure out to the west. So, the coming week, still looking quite cold with the JMA. Not sure about that. It's going to be quite cold over the weekend. Oops, the code's gone wrong. Not sure about that. It's going to be quite cold over the weekend. Next week, though, the trend is towards milder conditions. And we see above average rainfall just out to our west as well. Well, week 2 is the 21st, 28th of February. Lots of low pressure in from the Atlantic, high pressure to the south-southwest. Temperature is much milder into week 2. That's more like what I'd expect to see with a southwesterly flow, but also somewhat wetter than average as well. So milder, wetter, and windier for the second week. And then week 3 and 4, 28th of February, 14th of March, finds low pressure just to the west of the country, and we're bringing the wind from the southwest like that. Temperature anomalies are going to be milder than average, above average rainfall expected, above temperature expected, and also above average rainfall as well. So a mild, wet, and windy first half to March. Not sure it's going to be that bad. I think there'll be plenty of dry periods in between the bands of rain. Let's have a look at the CFS V2. Again, these are 500 millibar height anomalies breaking down to week periods. The first week period will be taking us from the 14th to 20th of February. The next week, we're blocking around Greenland and also a ridge through west of Europe, low pressure in the Atlantic. So, despite blocking signal, it's going to be quite mild, I think, with winds coming up from the south into week 2, which is the 21st, 27th of February. Higher pressure to our east, low pressure out to the west. Winds coming up from our southerly southwesterly direction. Could be some wet weather at times coming in from off the Atlantic, but also this ridge should provide quite a bit of dry weather, especially so in the east. Week 3 will be the 28th February, 6th of March. High pressure, that's retreating back into Central Europe a little bit, with low pressure up towards Iceland. Or a west-south-westerly type flow, a little bit more unsettled maybe, but still mild. And then week 4 is the 7th to the 13th of March. Still low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, along with westerly flow, but looks more unsettled. But again, winds are from the southwest, so will be remaining mild. Temperature anomalies for week 1, 14th, 20th February, about average, but go through to week 2, and that looks a lot milder. Both of us are in agreement for a very mild final week to February, 21st to 27th, coming out substantially above average. Week 3 is also milder than normal, 28th February, 6th of March, very mild week there, and still above average temperatures into week 4 too. It's 7th, 13th of March, above average temperatures there. And precipitation wise, finally, week 1, it's wetter than average just out to our west. All places going wetter than average into week 2, 21st, 27th of March. That's the wet wicket. Week 3 is going to be a bit wetter than average as well, 28th of February, 6th of March. And finally, week 4 is the 7th to the 13th of March, and that one comes out wetter than average as well. I'm a little bit dubious about that very wet thing. I reckon there will be bands of rain coming through, obviously, with this Atlantic side, but I think we'll get quite a bit of ridging, hopefully, from the Azores high as well, especially so for more southern and eastern areas. So I think overall, you know, it's a typical sort of late winter, early spring outlook. A lot of mild weather, spring-like temperatures at times, and you know, there will be some bands of rain, but also some drier periods too. So nothing overly dramatic, I don't think. Whether this is a false spring and we've got more, you know, throwbacks to winter to go later on in March, especially if we get an SSW going at the start of March, that's another question. But for the time being, you know, if you're fed up with the cold weather and all of this very dull weather that we've had for weeks on end, then it's a brighter outlook, even if there will be some rain at times. Okay, well, that's JMA Friday for this week. Remember to snapshot of what the model is showing. Could look different when we do JMA Friday again next week. Going to be back a little bit later on with your 10 to 14 day, so come back for that in a bit. For JMA Friday for this week, that's all now, and thanks for watching.